Welcome to Wins News. I'm your friend and host Amit Roy. Today I want to present to you an interesting topic. I had a Japanese lover and I also made love with a Chinese woman. I wanted to explain you how Japanese and Chinese are very different. Not only in lovemaking, or in romantic affairs. In general, they're absolutely different things. So I want to explain to you my feeling. This is my personal feelings. I made love with those people consensually and those countries it was not illegal. So this is my own submission. I am not requesting you to try this. I wanted to explain you how Chinese and Japanese are different culturally. Japanese are very kind people in that sense. They are very welcoming. They believe in faith, this kind of people. On the other hand, Chinese are more realistic people. They are also nice people, but in general, modern China is not China in culturally. This is a Soviet kind of arrangement culture. So this is a different thing. In Japan, you can develop friendship with other Japanese, trust and love. But in China, people don't tend to be friends. They don't trust each other. It's as communist culture. This is the one thing. Now I want to come to other points. Language-wise, Japanese and Chinese are very, very different. Japanese is a language where you express your views, and that view is almost acceptable. There is no hidden meaning usually in Japan in those kind of structures. But in China, your pitch of a language can mean many, many things. For example, teacher, if you are telling high pitch, it will mean fool. Or this kind of thing. Japan and China, there's a very big difference in that sense. If you are talking Chinese language, your sound will make many, many intonation, sound, everything matters. In Japanese, is not like that. Japanese is very grammatical in that sense. Chinese is also very grammatical, but Chinese has characters. You know, it's not like an alphabetical in that sense. There are characters in the language. Secondly, food habit extremely different. Extremely different. Chinese are very for Chinese food is very they want to share food with other families, etc., etc. And it's a big event for China. Whereas for Japanese, food is more personal, in that sense. Secondly, food cooking style is very different. Cooking style is very different in that sense. Chinese food are more oily. Chinese use a lot of meat. Chinese use a lot of seasoning. Whereas Japanese food is more health conscious, you may say, and not fried in that sense. But there are similarities. Also, Chinese, Japanese, Indian food. One thing called momo. In India, you can have that. In China, also they have momo or dumpling. In Japan, they have also that kind of momos called gyoza. So there are similarities in food. Besides, Japanese language and Japanese culture was influenced by Chinese for a while. In ninth or century, around 9 to that kind of time. Japanese were importing a lot of words and Chinese characters into their language and Confucian culture into Japanese lifestyle. So there are some impacts but in general, after the time passes, so the gap has been widened. Chinese, you see, the Jane, it came from India's Dan, went to China to Chan, then entered in Japan as Zen. So, from India, the Buddhism went to Japan. Bodhidharma changed the Japanese lifestyle and how samurais evolved with Buddhist cultures, etc. And while there is deep Indian influence, a lot of people don't understand Gita's philosophy is there. So I'm going into that kind of thing right now. So in general, Chinese and Japanese are very different. Secondly, Japan and China have a lot of similarities. They are also aspirations. They have aspirations like Chinese have their middle school exam. Japanese also have that. But China exam is most important in that sense, for their getting job and all. But Japan pressure is little less. But Japanese life is very different. In Japanese language, there are hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Kanji is Chinese characters, and those Chinese characters do not mean the same things in like Chinese in China. So it is very difficult. So there are hiragana and katakana, and this kind of languages have indirect Indian influence. You see, so Japan has absorbed a lot of things from other countries. So this is a thing. And now coming to friendship in Japan, Japanese friendship and Chinese friendship in general. I'm not talking about communist Chinese friendship, but in general, Chinese are good friends. Chinese are very loving characters. But I'm not talking about Chinese, communist Chinese, because they are not allowed to express their views and all. So I have not met Taiwanese, so I cannot tell about them. I can only tell about Chinese, Hong Kong, and other Chinese. But Japanese, you see, they wanted to express their love and care for you. They have emotion, they show emotions in your love, in your interactions. But in general, in the first day, you don't try to kiss a Japanese girl. That's the rule. I don't know much about Chinese. I'm coming to Chinese in my latter part. My language, personal relation with Chinese is very less, as I want to tell you. It's more a kind of fling. So I will express you that. Japanese are very emotional people. They trust you. They expect you should trust them back. No, my first girlfriend was Japanese in my life. In India, I had no girlfriend. Indians didn't like me. So I made love with a Japanese girl in my life first. So this is a revelation from my revelation to you. So I explored a woman's body from a Japanese girl. I never knew that. So number two, so this is they are very emotional. They'll take you to the families will like you, friend circle will like you. So these are the things. But in Chinese, I met Chinese. I will not tell you the exact locations and name of the Chinese girl, woman. We met somewhere in a market or somewhere, and she wanted to. She showed interest in me. I was young that time. I was 27, and she showed interest in me, and so we made an appointment so that we can meet. The next day we met her, and she took me to her apartment. I saw one trouser and jackets are hanging. Some man was living. I was surprised, and you know we made love. But one important thing I want to tell you one thing. While I was making love to her, she was grabbing my pouch, uh, my money bag, in my hip pocket, and she was seeing what I have. She didn't steal my money, no, but she was seeing. But that kind of thing are not common in Japan. You see, I have not met this kind of experience, met with this kind of experience. So this is my personal experience. I don't know. Everything is hunky dory, and everything will be grammatically right for everybody. The same thing will happen. People have different experiences. I'm sharing my experience. A Japanese girl are very, dedicated. I must say, very dedicated. I must say, they have emotions, love, caring. This much. This is my submission. So, and then they look different, absolutely different. Some people say they both have slit eyes. No, they are very different. They're very different. Color is different. So do not mix up with Chinese and Japanese in one basket. They are different cultures, different orientation, different mindset. I found Chinese are more ambitious. Chinese are more money oriented, and Japanese are more, melancholy. This is my understanding. They have submitted to their fate. They have gone into a kind of group hard mentality. Good or bad, I'm not saying. This is Japan. You have to like it or dislike it. You take it or go. I was. This is my. They lack individuality a little bit. Anyway, this is my humble submission. Please share me and subscribe my channel and make comments on my channel. Best wishes. Thank you very much.